Hello everyone and welcome to a very special little reaction video here with OGAE Australia, where we are going to be discussing the 12 entries for Junior Eurovision Song Contest, which will be airing incredibly early in the morning on Monday, the 30th of November. With me today, I have the amazing Chris.
Hello.
Hello. We have the absolutely awesome Alyce.
Hi.
And you may know these two from other videos that we've had with OGAE Australia. We have Kurtis and Raquel.
Hello.
Hello.
Raquel's basically in charge here because she is the junior. I've basically delegated everything to her. If you don't know me, my name is Danie and I am the VP of this amazing club. So without further ado, let's go to the first song, which is from Belarus. It is sung by Arena and it is called Aliens. Chris, what do you think of the Belarusian entry for this year?
I love the intense ones, and she really delivers it. She's got a fantastic voice. I find it very, very moving. I'm definitely giving this one a 2.
Nice.
You want to score now, or we all go?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think like this year is incredibly strong and it's very difficult to rank them, especially when you've got 12 and there's always going to be 2 songs that are missing out, which is always a bit sad. And, you know, we don't want to do that. So pretty high on your list or not, Chris?
I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10.
Nice. That's very promising.
Really good.
Oh, good. Can't wait to see the staging for this one too. What do you reckon, Alyce?
I absolutely love this song. It's not normally the kind of song I go for. I'm more the kind of person that likes up-tempo kind of songs you can dance along to. But first time I heard this, I'm just like, wow, her voice is amazing. And like, if they can encompass her power and deliver it with good staging, I reckon Belarus will do really well.
I think so too. What do you reckon out of 10?
I gave this a 9.
Woo! High points out of the block. Amazing. I think the first time I heard this, I was quite amazed at how strong her voice is. What do you think, Kurtis and Raquel?
I'll go first. So, yeah, I totally agree with Alyce. The song production is excellent. It's one of the best this year. Like you said, strong performance, strong vocals. The music video is pretty much just focusing on her, but it's so encapsulating. She doesn't need any crazy theatrics. It's just amazing as it is, and it's very, very impactful. And I just have to mention that rap. I think it's the only rap this year. Like, it's pretty iconic. And so I'm a big fan of Russian rap. She sold me on it. And the message as well, aliens as well. Even though it's in Belarusian, it kind of gets across, and that might be its only downfall, is that people might not be able to understand the message. So hopefully in the staging, it kind of gets across, because in the music video, it doesn't really come across the message. It's only me researching it and going, okay, the song's aliens and yada, 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 that I can figure it out. But first time viewers might not figure it out. So, but I've given it a 9 out of 10 as well.
Wow. What about you, Raquel?
Well, I reckon that the name is pretty much unforgettable. Like, out of all the other names, it's just aliens, which just stands out. the song, I think, is just really dark and tense, which is unlike the others. Like, some of the others just sound like Disney songs. I like the vocals, but like they aren't outstanding, like top of the notch. It's a bit boring, like after a bit at the very first bit, but it does stand out a lot. I reckon that it goes from like quiet to like pretty loud. Like it just goes up. And I like after the chorus, it just has a little rap. Like basically what I'm saying is that it's amazing.
What's your score out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Whoa! Hey, we've started off really well with this. The only thing I was disappointed is when I found out that the title was Aliens, I was expecting Little Green Men, but that was not the case. The next song in our list is from France. It's by Valentina and it's called J'imagine. This one, like there's a lot of ballads this year, but this one is a bop. I'm going to go to Chris first. What do you reckon about J'imagine?
I think that the French have put in some fantastic entries into Junior Eurovision. I think 2018 was really astounding. I think this year as well, they have found a fantastic performer. She is such an entertainer. To watch her, you just think, wow, she is a professional. The song is, I mean, for me, I prefer the intense ones. So, you know, this one is quite light and bubbly, and I'm sure people want that as well. Doesn't quite appeal as much to me. So I'm giving it a 7.
Good score.
Because it is a great show. I mean, this, you know, obviously this is all about entertainment, and I'm sure this will entertain on the stage.
Absolutely. And, you know, France has sent so many bops, and this one is just quite amazing. And I'm desperate to see what staging is going to be like. What do you reckon, Alyce?
I absolutely love this song. Spoiler alert, it's my winner. It's fun, it's catchy, it's up tempo, it ticks all the boxes for me. France, they've become one of my favourite countries at Junior Eurovision because they just send standout bop after standout bop. Yeah, I hope they do really well. I really hope they win, but knowing my track record with my winners ending up winning the contest, they won't. But fingers crossed.
So what's your score?
10.
Of course. The first time I heard it, it was such an instant earworm that it just didn't leave me for days afterwards. And I think that's a really good indicator of how well I think this song will go. Kurtis and Raquel, what are your thoughts?
I can go first.
Okay. Well, this song is like super catchy. Her vocals are like very good as well. I can remember the name. It's kind of funny that she starts the song with "Oops." This song actually stands out unlike a lot of the others. If I put this on loop, it would only get boring after a day.
Or more like never.
Yeah. I will give it a 10 out of 10.
Wow. Kurtis, what about you?
I agree. Instantly encapsulating. Fun, catchy, interesting, and it just gives me the biggest smile. Like with Raquel with the whoops at the beginning. I just could not stop smiling throughout the song. The music video that we watched was very well done, very fun, very kid-friendly, and hopefully they bring that with the staging. And for me, it's definitely a 10 as well.
Wow. I'm kind of thinking like really bright colours, very sort of energetic LEDs, a few dancers. Like I know, as Kurtis told me this afternoon, that some of the stuff is slowly coming out from rehearsals. but I'm desperate to see what they're going to do with France, because I think it could be really quite amazing. And Paris next year?
Yes, please.
One of the most anticipated songs of this season is basically because it was the last one to be released. And if you're a completist like me, you are desperate for all of these songs to come out before you start ranking them and doing stuff like that. So we have Georgia with an amazing song by a young woman called Sandra, and it's called You Are Not Alone. I don't know about the rest of you, but waiting for Georgia to drop was quite painful. I kept, you know, when you do the whole quick, give me it. And then, of course, we didn't get an official clip for ages after either. So we just had to settle for an audio. Chris, what did you think of Sandra's, well, I don't know, Sandra's whole package, the song?
I absolutely love it. I've been playing these songs just on repeat in the background and just letting them slowly sort of seep in. Every time this song comes on, I go, what's this song? I love this song. Who is this? Who is this? She is an amazing singer. She should be in adult Eurovision. It just blows me away. I love the song. I find it very memorable. I find it very moving. Like she is pouring her heart out. And when you watch the clip of it as well, you know, she's really delivering the emotion. I absolutely love this one. This one's my winner. 10 out of 10 for me.
Wow. It's amazing how, you know, when all the songs either come in like a clump or you get like one over a couple of weeks, and then the last one to come in just grabs your soul like that. That's really lovely. What do you think, Alyce? Is this a yes or a no for you?
I like it. I'm so impressed by the power in her voice, and I'm pretty sure she's only 9, which is absolutely ridiculous. I would have said she's at least 11. My only fear with this song is that it's very similar to a lot of the lineup in this year's contest, and for someone who, unlike us who have listened to it all these times, watches it for the first time on the night, it might not be so memorable. But yeah, I gave it an 8. I really liked it.
Oh, good. Kurtis and Raquel, are you putting it as high as everyone else?
What was Alyce's score, was it?
8.
8.
8.
Right.
8. Mine's probably not as high.
Mine isn't either.
So I really enjoy the chorus. The chorus, it gives me kind of goosebumps, which is a good sign for me. I'm normally a fan of ballads, which we'll see later on. One of my favorites. But for this song, yeah, like Chris mentioned, it's her vocally, she's incredible. But the song's a little not quite right for me. It's sometimes a little boring, monotonous, but when they try to change it up, it just doesn't go the way that I quite enjoy. So they've got like 3 changes in the song. They change the tempo, and I dislike that. And then they do the key change, which I don't mind, it's all right. And like Alyce said, it might not stand out. So for me, it's about a 6.
What do you think, Raquel?
Well, unlike my other ratings, this one's a bit lower for me. The vocals are amazing in my opinion, but the changes are kind of weird in the song, as Kurtis has just said. And it doesn't stand out that much, compared to Aliens and stuff. And it's just not really my type of song. And also, with it being so late, it's you open a fridge and there's nothing there, and then you close it again and open it again, like something will just appear. That's what's it like for waiting for Georgia.
It was so difficult because it wasn't even a leak. It was, the song was already listed on the CD, which was digitally released. And of course, smart people looked it up and went, oh, that's the song for Georgia. So it didn't really get like the buzz I think it deserved, because it was kind of, everyone was sort of, is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? And then when it was finally it, we were like, oh. And then waiting for that clip though, I did love the clip. I think that really did add to it. It's going to be very interesting what they do on the stage with this one, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. And it's not that long to go anyway.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, no, I gave it a 4 out of 10.
A 4? Wow. You can be a harsh critic sometimes, Raquel. Our next song is by a country that hasn't done Jesk before, and it's always very exciting when we get a new country in the mix, and it's Germany. And it was one of the first to be released, I believe. So this is Susan, and it's Stronger With You. And it's a lovely little song about, you know, having the support of your family and friends.
You gotta stand up and help me, please. I'm on my knees begging you to stop the hurting, the bleeding. This is my dream, and I need you to be on my team. I do, 'cause I'm stronger with you.
Chris, what did you reckon about Germany? Do you think this is a great debut for them?
Yeah, I do. I think, as you say, it is a lovely song. It's all about, you know, getting support, how she sings that, you know, I want you on my team. I think it's very, very nice. And I don't mean that in a kind of, you know, a condescending way. It's a great listen. I really enjoy it. If the clip is any indication, she's a great performer as well. It probably won't blow anyone away. And really, that's the best if you want to get the points. But I think it should do very well, and I certainly like it, and I'm giving it an 8.
Very nice. It's so nice to hear German, because, you know, in the adult contest, a lot of the German songs come in English, so it's really quite nice and refreshing to have something like that at Jesk. What do you reckon, Alyce? Is this a winner for you, or is it kind of a bit kind of, oh, welcome Germany?
It's middle of the road for me. I was lucky enough to watch their national final early September, and Susan was definitely their strongest performer in that final. But honestly, I was really hoping that they'd go away and write a different song, because this feels way too adulty for me. Like, it's a nice enough song, but it belongs more at the adult contest. So yeah, I gave it a 5.
That's fair. There was another song that a lot of fans were talking about, saying that they thought that one was better, or it would have suited her more. Kurtis, do you know about this one?
Yeah, that's the "Won't you see me later, see me later, see me later. What a crazy time, a crazy life for you and me." So it's,
I don't know the lyrics at all.
No, not at all. No, yeah. So "See You Later," I think the song is called, and yeah, Susan in the national final performance, I watched it as well. Yeah, she totally like slayed that song, and I thought they were going to send her with that song, and then they suddenly chose her other song, the one that she's going with, which I just forgot the name just then.
Stronger With You.
There we go, that one. Yeah.
There's a lot of strong and with and in the song titles this year. So what do you reckon? Like, what are you going to give this out of 10?
I gave it, originally I gave it an 8, but I might drop it down a little. I might give it a 7 maybe.
That's still a good one.
It's still high.
Yeah. What do you think, Raquel?
Well, I reckon that the name's a bit unforgettable. Her vocals are, well, okay. It's not much of a standout. It kind of stands out, but not that much. It's a bit of a bland pop song. If it was on loop, it would be on for just 1 hour. Netherlands and this are just both bland pop songs. That's what I just think. But this one just appeals to me a bit more.
So you give it a...
3 out of 10.
Well, look, I think it's wonderful that we finally have Germany, and it's a shame that they've come in such a strange year for Jess, but hopefully they'll gain enough momentum and stay with us for the long haul. The next song is from Kazakhstan, and it's Karakat with Forever. This one gets me really in the feels because, you know, it's about a dad and it's missing a loved one. And with everything going on with the virus and all that stuff, we're split up from loved ones and it just really hits home. What do you think, Chris, about Forever?
I think this is a very moving song. And now that I know what it's about, I can understand why it is such an emotional song with such an emotional delivery. Kazakhstan are just fantastic. Like their entry last year was so good, and the year before as well. Can't wait to see them when they eventually, surely they must come into the adult version. This one again shows Kazakhstan is here to win. They bring their best, so impressive. The video, if that's any indication of, you know, their appreciation of presenting this visually, means again they should just do so well. Love it. Such a great entry. I'm giving it 8.
Nice, solid score. Alyce, does it tug on your heartstrings as much as it does with me?
Yes. First time I heard it, I thought, oh, okay, this could be something. And then I learnt the meaning of the song. And then it took on a whole new emotional connection for me because, like Karakat, I also lost my dad at a young age. And it is hard. It's not like losing your parent as an adult. So, yeah, this song really has an emotional connection for me.
Yeah, it's really tough. And I think a lot of people were saying that her vocals were not fantastic in the first performance that we saw, but that was just raw emotion from her. Like she feels that song all the way through, and you can really tell with her performance. I think this is probably going to be like a very moody staging, sort of similar to what they've done with the official clip. I think it's going to rank pretty highly, but Alyce, what did you give it out of 10?
I gave it a 9.
Very solid score. Kurtis and Raquel, what do you reckon about Kazakhstan this year? Because I know both of you really loved last year's entry. So what do you think about this one?
Well, this song has a meaning, definitely. I like the mood it has, but it's a sad song. But it gets a bit happy and then it gets sad. So I love the visuals of the music video so much. And I feel bad for the loss of her dad, though. This song is just stunning. It just leaves you wanting more because it's on a cliffhanger. And it's just a sad song, so because it's sad, I kind of lost 1 point. Look, it nearly made me cry.
Yeah, me too. So what do you reckon out of 10?
Well, I would have given it a 10, but it's sad, so I gave it a 9.
Oh, look, that's still a really good score. Kurtis, are you going as high as Raquel with this one?
I'm going even higher. So this is my favourite for this year.
This is your
I'm already
winner. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm really a big fan of Kazakhstan. I don't know what it is with Kazakhstan. They just like to make me cry. So last year when I saw their performance in the arena, I was lucky to go to Poland and be there. And I saw it in the first rehearsal and I cried watching it. It was just amazing. One of the best vocals I've ever heard. And they've kept it up. Karakat has brought it. And the difference between last year's and this year's is that this year has that emotional connection, that meaning song. Last year was an amazing vocal performance, but it just lacked like a kind of meaning and connection, which this song has.
Yeah.
So I really feel a lot more with this song. And the music video, I feel like, is one of the best I've ever seen ever, like at Eurovision ever. So I've definitely given it a 10 out of 10.
I think I know why you like Kazakhstan. Last year, they gave you chocolate, Curtis.
There we go. That's right. Kazakhstan gave me chocolate last year. That's my number one.
You're not accepting bribes, are you, Kurtis? Shh. Don't tell anyone. The next song we're going to cover is from Malta. And we have this gorgeous little thing called Chanel singing Chasing Sunsets.
Chasing sunsets here and far as they follow the southern star, and they travel the world breathing out. It's what their life is all about. It's what their life is all about.
Chris, I know you're into the more moody ones. What do you think about Chasing Sunsets?
Very moving. Again, another amazing performer. These voices coming out of these
And she's like this
tiny
tall.
packages are just amazing. And she is astounding. The song is very moving as well. It probably doesn't stand out enough from the pack for me. So I'll give this one a 7, but still very impressive entry.
Yeah, I agree. This one really stuck with me the first time I heard it. And I think that's a really good, indication of a song's staying power if it really does stick with you. What do you reckon, Alyce? Is this a good one for you?
I feel like I'm going to be the odd one out here. I'm not a fan of this at all. I find this very boring, very similar to the other ones. I do like Chanel's voice, and the fact that she's only 9, I'm pretty sure, is absolutely insane. It also feels like a very mature song for someone who is only 9. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure, but yeah, I gave this a 4. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, look, that's fair. I think sometimes we do go into a strange territory at Jesk of doing more mature songs, and there's more coming down the list that I feel that would probably be more of an ESC song as opposed to a JESC song. And I think this is one of them. I think she's a really good performer. I think she's very solid. She'll probably end up being, Malta's entry in a few years anyway for the senior contest. Kurtis and Raquel, are you Chasing Sunsets?
I'm kind of like agreeing with Alyce a little bit. Like an amazing vocalist, such a small girl with a big voice, great lyrics in the song as well. Lyrically, it's really good. It helps that it's in English as well for me. So that's, musically, it's very a sound production. But again, it kind of reminds me of another typical ballad. And I was just reflecting then, I watched the Maltese national selection and I didn't remember that song in the selection. So, yeah. So I gave it a 5.
Gave it a 5. Raquel?
Well, I reckon that her vocals are like amazing. Well, just for her age at least. There's amazing lyrics for the song. Like, I love the lyrics. She has amazing changes and transitions throughout the song, like the different parts of it. But it does get a bit boring. I like the song a lot though, and I would give it a 7 out of 10.
So we're sort of deviating a bit from each other, aren't we, with this one? Look, it'll be very interesting to see how it's staged. I think that could either, you know, bring it really up or just keep it to the level that it is now. One of the other serious bops for 2020 is the Netherlands, which is a girl band called Unity singing Best Friends.
You are my best friends at every distance. Let us sing, let us shine, and we will unite. You are my best friends at every moment that we share, we take care, and we get together now.
When I heard this one, I was a really huge fan of last year's Dutch entry, so I was very excited to hear this one. And I was like, I'm not disappointed at all. Now, Chris, this is a bop. What do you reckon?
Well, I think in this competition, there are 10 toots, 2 boots. This is a boot for me.
Oh!
I groaned the moment I heard it, thinking, okay. And then when I saw the film clip, it was like, this song was made by the marketing department. They did their market research. They found everything that everyone wants from a Junior Eurovision song, and they stuck it in. The only thing that we're missing were the baseball caps on sideways. No, did not like this at all. Don't like it. And even if you remove all the imagery and all of that, I don't particularly like the song, you know, Best Friends, yeah. A cliche kind of thing, yeah, a real kiddie theme. This is just a formula. No, I think, in fact, maybe it even wasn't the marketing department. I think a robot made this song. The performers are fantastic. I'll say that. It's no reflection on them. They had, I'm sure they had this served up to them, and they did it really well. But I'm not enjoying this at all. I'm going to give this 3.
You got to hand it to the girls that actually were in the national final, because one of them was ill, and a lot of people were kind of like, oh, they don't sound good. But when you take that one voice out of that group, it really does make a difference. Alyce, Dutch yes, Dutch no.
I am pretty much the total opposite of Chris on this one. I absolutely love it. It was my winner of the national final. What happened to them on that day? It was literally like 8 hours before. Yeah. And if I remember that they lost a member, and they weren't the only ones that sounded off on that night. So they should be right to go come Sunday night, Monday morning. Yeah, it is a bit weird that they're singing about best friends, but they were a group put together for the national final, so they might have been only best friends for several months. Yeah. But that's not a problem for me. I absolutely love this. This was my winner for quite a while until France came along. But yeah, I absolutely love this. 10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10. All right, so Kurtis and Raquel, are you going to meet in the middle, or are you going to pick one side here?
I think we're going to crash the boat. So, Raquel, do you want to?
Well, starting off, the name's already cheesy. I'm not trying to be mean, but listening to it just sounds like a cheesy BFF pop song with like bad dances, and they dab. Like, no, don't dab anymore. This is just my opinion, but I absolutely hate it, and it's a 1 out of 10.
Yikes. Kurtis, are you this harsh?
Not as harsh. I really like the harmonies, so that's a positive tick. They got a point there. But it's no Dans met y'all from Netherlands last year, not even close for me. So I gave it a 3.
What did you give it? Sorry, I dropped out. It's wonderful
Sorry,
tools for
okay.
internet. 3.
Yes, a 3.
Wow.
So
I'm
generous.
kind of more with Alyce. I think this is one of the ones that stood out for me, and I actually had to rank them, and it was very upsetting last week. And I think I gave them my 8 points, if I remember correctly, or is it my 10? 2 weeks ago was a really long time ago, but it was definitely up there.
I mean, I was generous enough to give them 1 point.
That was nice. You didn't give them no points because that's sad. Mind you, I didn't say when I said out of 10, I didn't say you could go naught, did I?
No.
No, that's true. Poland did the wonderful thing of doing back-to-back winners, which is just astounding. And they were really, really quite fantastic. This year, we have a little bit of a rock song for Poland, and it's by Ala. I'm calling her Ala. She could be Ayla, I don't know. But her song is I'll Be Standing.
Even when times get tough, I'll be standing. I'll be standing. I'll be standing. I'll be
When this first came out, I was kind of like, great voice, wasn't sure. Then they kind of redid it, and I was like, oh, okay, suddenly I'm liking this more than I did the first listen. Chris, it's got a bit of a rock beat. Does it satisfy?
Yes, it satisfies. I'm quite good with this one. I think Poland are still in here to win. They haven't had enough. I would not be surprised if they do. Well, will they win? Can they still vote for themselves? That rule hasn't changed, has it? Okay, they're probably going to win again. And this is a worthy winner. I think this is a great song. She delivers a great performance. I'm sure they're going to do something fantastic on stage. I'm perfectly happy listening to this song, and I'm giving it an 8.
Nice. Alyce, what do you think?
I'm very similar to you, actually. When I heard this in their national final, I thought, too much English, nowhere near as strong as their previous entries. Then the revamp came along, much more Polish added, and I'm like, yes, please. I love this song. So yeah, this is definitely my biggest grower for the year. Yeah, I don't think they'll win. I think they're in contention, but I think there are other songs that have a better chance of winning. Put it that way.
Out of 10?
Jump down to my notes because I forgot what score I gave it. I gave it a 9.
Very nice. She's so tiny, but she's got this really soulful voice, which is really cool. Kurtis and Raquel, has this kind of got you moving or standing still?
I just want to take it back to last year's winner, Vicky Gabor, and make a little comparison. So when Raquel and I first listened to Superhero last year, on first listen, we predicted that Vicky would win.
Yeah.
And then also when I was there in Junior Eurovision last year, she was one of the 3 potential, oh, is she going to win? Is she not? Am I getting that same feeling this year? No, I'm not. But it's still a really, really good song, as both Chris and Alyce have said. It's really, really good. And I agree that with the revamp, it's, jumped up for me. And I've given it an 8 out of 10.
Very nice. Raquel?
Well, I mean, it gets a small bit boring, but not very much. She has really good vocals, well, for her age at least. The song is catchy and you can actually remember it. If you put this on loop, it would only get boring after like 7 hours. I gave it an 8 out of 10, just like Kurtis.
I love this. I love that Raquel has got like this scaling thing of how long can I listen to a song on a loop before I get bored of it. Like, I actually think that's a pretty good way of testing the longevity of a song. It's like, will I hate this in 6 hours? Let's see. The thing is, Kurtis, has she actually done this? Has she played a song over and over again until she's gotten bored of it?
Today was the first time that we actually sat down and listened to all the songs. Raquel wanted to keep it as a kind of surprise.
Oh, so she's a fresh reaction.
We'll find out. Yes.
Nice. I like it. Russia is always a strong contender, and I don't know about this one, but maybe it'll be up there again. It's Sophia, and it is My New Day.
Навсегда хочу остаться там, где больших звезд манящий свет, где мечты цветные снятся и добротою мир согрет небывалым вершинам ступень. Мой новый день.
This one, I've got to say, definitely not my favourite of the year. I'd love to know what all you think of this song. Chris, what do you think?
Russia always bring great stuff. I like everything they bring. They take this very seriously. They absolutely take this seriously. They send great songs, great performers. Again, this year, we've got a really polished performer. A song that you probably could say is very Disney-esque. So therefore, they're trying to appeal to the crowd. I enjoy this song while I'm listening to it, but I have to admit, the moment it stops, I've forgotten it. I can't remember very much about it at all. So it's fun at the time. I don't know that it'd get too many people picking up the phone to vote. So I'm going to give this 7.
Fair. Alyce?
I don't mind it. It's not the most memorable song. It does sound a lot like some of the others. This has potential to be a bit of a dark horse, I think. It'll all depend on what they're doing with the staging, but yeah, I gave this a 6. I don't think it'll win, but it could be a dark horse.
Yeah, like, even though it's not really a winner for me, I still think, based on the whole thing, that it is Russia and they know what they're doing, it's still going to be quite high up on the scoreboard. Kurtis and Raquel, what do you think of My New Day?
Well, I mean, the vocals are pretty good. The song is okay. It's kind of boring. It has a good message. I just realized that the song is like always in a higher pitch. It doesn't go any lower, basically. The pre-chorus felt like it took 7 years. It felt like a Disney song. It could stand out if there weren't any other Disney-style songs. But in a competition like Eurovision, it wouldn't, because there's a lot of other Disney-style songs usually. And I have one word for it: boring. I give it a 3 out of 10.
Oh, Kurtis, do you agree with your sister?
Raquel's always the generous one. I'm going to be a little teensy bit more generous. I agree, she has a really good voice. Sounds like Disney. I didn't get the story behind it, to be honest. I don't know what it's about. I got bored as well, and I will give it maybe a 4. Yeah.
Well, you know, we know even if we don't vote for Russia, thousands will vote for Russia. So I don't think they've got any kind of worry about coming last because, you know, there's more than us voting. Serbia is up next with Peter, and he is singing, can I do it? I can. Heartbeats.
Jasno da smo tira, jedan deo istog svemira. Mi smo kao zvezde našeg tihog mjuzikla.
All right, so Heartbeat is a very different type of song. Chris, are you a fan?
Yeah, I am. I know this is not been going down so well with many people, but I enjoy it. It's a nice, it's a pleasant song. It comes across well on the video. I don't have really a lot to say about it. I enjoy it. It's just in the middle of the pack for me, and I'm giving it a 7.
Yeah, I do like the whole kind of heartbeat noise through the actual song, because when you're listening to it with headphones, it can be quite, you know, it's really weird, like almost soothing. What do you think, Alyce? Are you a fan of the boom, 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 boom?
Bad as it sounds, I didn't actually notice it. Like,
oh, maybe it's just me. You know how
maybe that's just not something I can pick up easily.
Maybe it's one of those things like the internet thing that people can smell ants. Obviously, I can hear heartbeats in songs.
But yeah, I'm not really a fan of this song. It's very middle of the road for me. Like, I don't mind it, but yeah, it's my second last or something like that. I don't remember where I ranked it, but yeah, I gave it a 5.
I think that's pretty fair. And the weird thing is we haven't had many males this year at all. Like, we've only got 2. So, you know, you never know. Peter may stand out because it's such a girl year, but I don't know. Kurtis and Raquel, are you a fan of Serbian's entry?
I am.
You like?
I think it's I am. It's a really sweet song. It's nice and it gets me in the feels. And I really enjoy the kind of like breathy vocals. And I feel this song will appeal to a lot of the tween generation. It's got that kind of feel to it. The message is very clear. Unlike a lot of the other songs that we've seen, like Russia we just looked at, I don't know what they were, you know, talking about. There would have been English lyrics, but I still didn't get it. But this song, I know exactly what they're talking about. It's very clear and I enjoy it. So I give it an 8 out of 10.
I like when it sort of carries you on a journey, and then at the end you get those English lyrics put in and you sort of go, oh, so it is kind of a, you know, a love song. And what do you think, Raquel? Like, is this too adult for you, or do you think it's quite a sweet song?
Well, I mean, I'm a bit more generous this time. I mean, I guess it's a bit boring. The vocals are it doesn't stand out. It just sounds like a random lovey-dovey song. The name is okay. If I put it on the loop, it would only get boring up to 5 hours. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Better than some of your other rankings, so that's pretty good, I think. A song that has seemed to have divided the Twitter fandom over the last couple of days is the Spanish entry by Solea called Palante.
Sí, hasta que no puedas, tira pa'lante, pa'lante, tira pa'lante, hasta que no puedas, tira pa'lante, pa'lante, tira pa'lante, hasta que no puedas, tira pa'lante.
Now this is a bop. Chris, favourable, unfavourable?
It's the other boot.
Oh no!
Oh, this has been
I was waiting for the other boot. I was like, there's not many songs to go.
Again, this song playing in the background, and I think, what is that annoying song? It sounds like a squeaky wheel, and I just cannot wait for it to finish. I know seeing the video, the performer's great. It lends itself to great staging. I'm sure it will be a crowd pleaser, but just listening to that song is a very unpleasant experience for me. I would say at least it's better than the Netherlands. That's the best thing I can say about it. And I'm giving it 4.
A 4. Oh, look, see, a 4 is nearly halfway. Alyce, are you on the Spanish train for this year or not so much?
Well, once again, I am the opposite of Chris. I absolutely love this song. As I said before, I much prefer the up-tempo, catchy kind of songs that you can dance along to. I can see why people find it annoying. It is a little bit repetitive, but I love it. I can see why it's so popular, and honestly, I think it's one of my predictions to win alongside Belarus.
So
I don't like it. It probably will win.
Yeah, that's like me, Chris. I'm like, I don't like it. We'll win. Alyce, out of 10?
10.
10. Wow. Okay. So we've had the differing views on one side of the screen. Kurtis and Raquel, which side are you falling on?
Oh, I hear a sound. What's that sound? It's the bop alert. Yes, straight away it gets you. It's got that Spanish flair, that flamenco-y kind of sound. It's right up there for me. The only kind of negative for the song that I can find is that it gets a little repetitive and the sound is kind of typical in the chorus. But for me, the cultural side really comes through, and I think the performer, she is the one who's going to sell the song. She is the one who's going to deliver that potential victory. So I've given it a 9 out of 10.
Nice. Raquel, do you agree?
So I like the beat in the song and all, just very catchy. The vocals are okay. It just sounds like it has a bit of auto-tune. It's very good altogether. I reckon that it has the very like upbeat vibes of like last year normal Eurovision Spain. It's very upbeat and it has a lot of like, it's very cultural. Well, not very, but quite. I could play it on loop for 8 hours. I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Whoa. Yeah, this one's been a bit of a funny one because you really do have, you don't have people in the middle that are like, it's okay. It's either love it, can't stand it. And it's a very interesting song, how it's just so divisive. I think it's very interesting. We'll have to see how Spain goes. Our last song is from Ukraine, and it's by Alexander. Now, Alexander is singing a song called, I'm going to get this wrong, Kurtis, can you say it? Because you're probably a little bit better with languages than I am.
All I know is the English one is Open Up, because it relates to
hilarious because it's the logo for Senior Eurovision. I've been practicing this all day. Isn't that terrible? We're calling it Open Up. The only other boy for this year is Alexander, which could be in his favour, but might not be. I don't know. Chris, what do you think about the Ukrainian entry?
I like most of it. There's lots of good things in this. I think he is a great performer. He does an amazing range, from the high notes down to the bit of almost growling. So great performer. Most of the song's great. The problem is probably the hook, which is that bit where he sings "Open up," and that's I find that a little jarring in both languages. So I have to take a few points off for that, because that bit doesn't quite work for me, but the rest of it does. So still enjoy the song, and this one's a 7 points for me.
Nice. Alyce, do you agree with Chris this time?
No, to put it shortly. I'm not a fan. I'm not 100% sure why, like, what it is that I'm not a fan of, but I just find it really boring, and it's my last place. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. I gave it a 4.
Wow. Yeah, this one seems to have been a little bit more divisive than I thought it would be. Kurtis and Raquel, yes or no for Ukraine?
It's funny that the Ukrainian delegation, or the Ukrainian people who selected the song, have followed a similar trend from last year. Last year and this year both have this retro, very unique sound to them. I like last year's better though. I really enjoyed it, and I had a hook. This year doesn't have the hook as much for me, and I enjoy his range. He has a wide range, but I prefer his lower end of the range. His higher range gets a little too much for me. But yeah, so I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Raquel, what do you think?
Well, it's catchy. The name is a bit hard to remember in Ukrainian, but if it's in English, it's pretty easy to remember.
Yeah.
The song's really amazing. I love it. The vocals are amazing, and it stands out a lot. So I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Nice. Well, that was all 12. Amazing. It's going to be a very interesting contest, especially with this whole live to tape thing. And I think it's going to be sort of what we may expect for what's happening in Rotterdam in May next year. Who's getting up to watch it live at 3 a.m? No one. Oh, Alyce is joining me.
I feel invested now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a killer.
We have school.
Yeah, you've got school. No, I'm just sleeping all day Monday. I think it's going to be a really interesting contest, and I think the songs have been quite amazing. I know it's been a bit tumultuous, and we've lost a few countries along the way because of coronavirus and all extra things, but I think it's going to be a really solid year, and I just can't wait to see some of these stagings and seeing the whole package of these songs after sort of falling in love with them over the weeks. Thank you so much for joining us in this retrospective of JESC 2020. Thank you, Kurtis. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you, Alyce. And thank you, Chris. You can join us if you're up early enough on Twitter. Our handle is OGAE_Australia. We will be live tweeting the contest as it airs. And don't forget, it's actually on the official Junior Eurovision Contest YouTube. So don't go looking for it on television, because it's not going to be airing here. Also, don't forget to head to our website, ogaeaustralia.com, to have a look at our Junior Eurovision page, which has all the songs, little bios, and some photos of all of the artists, so you can be completely up to date when you decide to actually sit down and watch the competition. Thank you so much, folks, for joining me tonight. Hopefully we will see you all soon in person, and enjoy the contest. That's it. Good night. Bye.